22nd, which is the hypothesis read in Dusseldorf. So people are back in town around that time, or could be.
I'm not there.
Pardon?
I'm not there.
On the 20, you're away that day. Yeah. So when is the next available date for you in May?
Not in May, in June. Early June. We're coming back about the 3rd, 4th of June. It could be the first week of June.
Yeah.
So, yeah, first week of June. Be a possibility.
Week 1, June.
Yeah.
How does that sound with you, sir? Week 1, June. Yeah. Cargola, do you have your schedule with you, sir?
The schedule's here.
Verstanden?
I have my schedule.
If it's not 5th and 6th, it's fine.
Okay, let's see. You're talking June, right?
Yes. And I may say to you now that you're all cordially invited to the industry dinner in Dusseldorf on the 21st.
First week of June starts, to my knowledge, on the 4th of June. No, that's correct, right?
Correct. The 4th would not be possible. It would be 5th or 6th or 7th.
Second half of this week. Thursday
Yep.
and Friday.
Thursday, something like that.
And remember, it's 2 days you're looking for.
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
You're looking for 2 days. First week of June.
Second week would be good. First week's not.
First week's blocked.
Second is okay.
Second week is the logistics fair in Munich.
That's the one.
Forget that, gentlemen.
PVL.
Forget that. Yeah.
Forget that.
Because second week of June you can't do it because people are at the logistics fair in Munich starting Tuesday.
Me too.
12th. That's what I mean. So
what about the third stores?
you can do it.
Possibly fine,
Yeah, maybe you can do it on the Monday. Yeah.
Could I offer you a date, a wild card date? Could I offer the 17th of May? Suit anybody?
No, I'm on May is gone for me.
You're done.
But
Second week.
the third week of June, you have the TOC.
Yeah, Turkey.
QSC in
Turkey.
In Turkey.
And on the 21st of June.
Yeah, we're both at
You
that.
can do it in Turkey, of course.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Herstander?
Which one?
You know you're invited to speak on the we're chairing TOC, yeah? The Institute's chairing TOC in Istanbul, and you're in on the first day, Dr. Demoney, and the panel that we did in Hong Kong, they want to hear it again in TOC, okay?
Which date is it?
20, 21st, and 22nd.
Yes. June?
No chance.
No chance. Here.
What about 25th? The week starting there. 25th of June.
Yeah.
You know, then all I'm saying is, okay, fine,
That week,
Goes to the
fine. Let's get our first one.
that 22nd.
I'm good with
Sorry, 25th of June is the Atlanta AGM of the Institute in Atlanta.
What about 27th, 28th?
28, 29.
What days are they?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, I would come back to Frankfurt and do Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday. I go
Thursday,
to Washington
Friday.
on Tuesday, so I can just fly from there.
Okay. So that Thursday, Friday
28 and 29th.
of June. How does that sound to you, Dr. Money?
I'm in the Harvard lecturing, but that's okay.
Does that mean you don't?
I'm making the program so I can change it so that I'm available. That
You can
I
make
give
it-
everyone one. Yeah, it's 2 days. We were
Yeah.
talking about.
Isn't it MAU?
Okay, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Thursday, Friday, 28, 29th of June.
So I would have to deliver a speech on the 29th. I forgot to cancel this. Find somebody
Why
else.
don't we put it in the first half of that week?
Because we're in Atlanta doing our...
Oh yeah, London, yeah.
Could it be possible Wednesday, Thursday?
No.
He won't make it.
No, I won't
be
make
able
it.
to make it. He has to be the Thursday and Friday.
It's right in the middle of my lecturing week, so that makes it worse.
Maybe we should take a weekend.
Yeah, I'm quite happy on the Saturday.
Why don't you make just 3 proposals and make the secretaries get the appointments?
But write down the
If
28th.
I got that first date, I'd be confident I could do it from there. You know, because I know if I go with you into August, September, you're fine. I know you're not going to be that bad there. Your next quarter is done. If I can I'll take those dates if I got them from you now, 28, 29.
Yeah, just work it out.
Verstander?
Well, 29, I have a problem still.
What time?
I'm quite committed at the first speech.
What time?
The conference, the supply chain conference. The time is not quite clear, but the whole day is
In
supply
Europe
chain
somewhere?
conference. Hamburg.
Well, it's in Hamburg.
Should describe
We're taking a half. It's only we only need you here until 1 p.m. on that Friday. It's a day and a half.
Okay.
the same session.
So the conference organizer will put you in the afternoon schedule.
28, 29.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. If it's in Hamburg.
Yeah, of course.
Sind Sie dann Hamburg an der TV vorbehalten?
Do you want to go through the pain of trying to get meeting 2 down on the paper now? Yeah. So I can send the schedule out. Okay. Will I try and pull another tooth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Das weiß ich nicht.
So 28, 29
Of June.
Berlin-Konferenz extra hingefahren.
Okay. Starting maybe again with your schedule. Don't put that away yet, sir, just in case, because we're going to pull another tooth here. So we know July is out of the question. I'm sorry, we don't know July is out of the question. Do you think it's wise to have a meeting within 4 weeks? Yes or no? Too soon?
Too soon.
6 weeks puts it into August. 8 weeks puts it outside August. 9 weeks puts it into the first week in September.
I think 8 weeks is probably more workable because you have the summer going on there.
So the 8th week after the 29th of June is the last week in August. I don't think we can guarantee anybody then.
No, we got, I think first week of September.
Okay, so the second meeting of the 4 is the first week in September. Can you just synchronize on that one?
For the second meeting.
Yes, sir.
So 3rd, 4th, 3rd to 7th.
And the other thing that seems to be happening is we're falling into a Thursday-Friday thing. That seems to be more, is that a better time of the week
For me, it's absolutely lousy. Thursday is the lousiest day you can meet.
Okay.
Do we need two days for session 2 as well?
No.
For meeting 2?
One day.
We're down to 1 day
We
now.
have every week on Thursday we have management meeting.
Okay.
Eurogate group, and I'm missing already today.
Gotcha, forget it. We won't do that to you again.
So
So,
you did it already in June, so I'm not going to do it the third time.
So we really are going to have a 1 day meeting.
1 day meeting on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But now, by the way, we won't bring you to Europe for 1 day. You know, we'll also fill your, you know what I'm saying? We'll use the time better when we know you have notice and so on.
You are in August now?
No, September.
September.
3rd, 4th or 5th.
But it'll have to be the 5th. It can't be the Monday because you couldn't be here for the Monday because then you'd miss your weekend. So,
that's not.
Yeah, make
so
it
what?
Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, why not?
what about 4th? What about 5th?
5th?
1 day. 1 day.
One day.
Well, it's a Monday.
Well, I'm sorry.
4th or 5th?
Friday, 4th.
You prefer the Friday?
Oh, it's fine, 7th.
7th, sir?
Fine.
7th of September? Everybody on a nod on September 7th?
Yeah.
Friday, September 7th?
Fine.
I mean, the only thing bad about Friday is that are we any contingency plan that is going to go over a day?
Yeah.
I mean,
We might.
Should be not a
Might.
problem.
Should be a
Thank
little-
you very much.
Yeah.
We are going to come hiccups.
we're counting on a lot.
Well,
of
let me
days.
say one thing, right? About September 6th, which is the Thursday night, yeah? I'm certainly going to be in town, you're going to be in town, will you be in town? Why don't we have a dinner on September 6th that we kick off from into September 7th?
Yeah, that's all.
Would that be good?
Yeah.
But we get down to work, we make
You
it
have
have
to fly in anyway.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
We'd all be here.
Time, so.
Okay.
So dinner on the evening of September 6th and the meeting all day September 7th. That gives us real...
Actually, I thought I was trying to avoid time, but it's not. I'm good. As far as I know right now,
Christoph, die wollen nicht zusammen.
actually Monday's a holiday.
Innerhalb von 4
Should.
Stunden. Ja.
September
20, 30
But
Leute.
I have no idea. I'm open for the rest of it.
Good, so we're hoping for you to arrive in Hamburg on the 6th, the afternoon of. We're going to go to dinner that night in a kind of a bilateral setting and come in and work it through on the 7th. Okay? So September 6th for dinner, 7th for meeting. And the tease question is, which one of these 3 groups are the first back for the second half of the 7th? Which group are we working with directly on that day? Shift
Carriers.
I would,
carriers.
by that time we should have.
We have the idea then, what
Yeah.
what
I guess we should have them all. I guess once we introduce them into the group,
they will not miss us.
Don't exclude anybody.
No, but you remember what we were saying earlier, bring them all together for the welcome, and then break them into 3 deep dives then over the next 3.
Why?
No, there's no need.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
Correct.
Break them down over the
break
day.
them up.
Over the day.
Break them down over the day. Dr. The money is saying is break them down over the day.
Yeah, break them in subgroups.
You know, 9/11 shippers, 11/1 carriers
I would leave them
together.
together. They have each other.
They have different,
They have different-
they have different objectives, they have different targets.
And we forget the landlords every time we discuss this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the port authorities.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's find out on
Also,
June
it's very
whether
well.
we need to have them together or whether we have them separate.
We make that decision there, sir. After this meeting, we make
They
that.
make the decision.
They make the decision.
They make the
Okay,
decision.
very good, very good, very good.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
Us.
They make the decision.
Okay, again, delete
What about the port authorities?
Yeah, the point I just put them in now.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are we coming from?
So the other point I was going to make
So,
to you
sorry,
was,
who do you contact with the port authorities? Do you with the ESPO, for example, or who?
well, I think we IAPH, I think.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
but I think what you'll find is there will be a specific port authority, Hamburg, and the representative body. So you'll
Okay.
probably have a fellow and the umbrella at all times, I would say. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so if you then say that it's too soon to have a meeting after September 6th, 7th within 4 weeks, can we just go 6 weeks from here and get some momentum going towards the end of the year?
Yeah.
So then 3 weeks, 5 weeks, so I believe I'm talking about somewhere around the week beginning October 15th. You've got all the conferences in your schedule there, you will. I think you have two, yeah, October, if we meet October, the week beginning October 15th, it's a 1 day. Does anybody have anything in their diary?
I may be in Hong Kong.
Okay, that's your time of year.
I don't have the agenda here.
Yeah, but that is your time of year down there.
Let me confirm that. Because it will take 15, but it may not be possible.
15th is a Monday. I don't want to do that steep. Anybody coming in, I don't want to make them travel at the weekend because they lose family time and they never
If
get
you
that
got a Monday,
back.
I have to leave on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I
I'm
mean.
just not-
So the end of the week is better. They're traveling on office time then.
The end of the week, I'm
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday the 19th. Thursday the 18th.
So it's the 18th. I'm
Yeah.
not going to participate.
Oh, you're going to miss a board meeting,
Two
right?
weeks
So
on
we
Hong
take
Kong.
Friday.
I'm 2 weeks in Hong Kong, you know, in that period.
Okay.
I haven't got the exact date. Rob, will you recall? No.
What about week?
I know it's at end of October.
Yeah, what about week starting 22nd?
That's the second
But
week.
that's a difficult week.
To be frank with you, Dr. Money, if you look at it, there are 2 weeks beginning at the end of the month, the 22nd and the 29th.
Yeah.
We're asking about the week beginning the 15th. You just it might be the
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Keep for the moment.
we provisionally
and I'll
put it-
check. And I'll
Wonderful.
check. Okay.
Wonderful. So it's good for now. Friday, October 19.
Okay for you, Henry?
Yeah, better than
We're
Thursday.
going to be very
So-
difficult. Can it be 18?
Not going to participate.
No, because
I will consider.
But
Should
if
be
you're gonna
possible,
have,
I think.
if you're gonna have that
Hermones
there,
has a meeting on that Thursday.
if you're gonna have that there, I mean, obviously, again, it would be worthwhile to have 1 day and a half, like
The dinner the evening before again?
or not before, because he will probably not be. Are you gonna be able to make that dinner?
On the
Yeah,
Thursday?
that's not a problem.
Okay.
Or a breakfast the day after, you know, whatever.
Well, no, I think we'll
The
stick with
board
this.
meeting starts on Thursday at 1500.
Okay.
So it's.
So it could be.
So
the
I mean,
October
we can
18th.
meet at Thursdays. I mean, I have no problem, but I have to leave here at 4
Yeah.
times.
No, but October 18th for dinner, October 19th for workshop, September 6th, September 7th, October 18th, October 19th. Now, so our dates so far then, 28th, 29th of June, the 2 day, September 6th for dinner, 7th for day, 18th for dinner, 19th for day. Are we going to do our one more meeting before the year end then, Herstander?
Yes.
And again, if you take that 6-week window, we don't want it to fall in December, because we probably we do the writing in December, what has to be done. So the last week in November is Monday the 26th. That would be about 5 weeks after we met previously. So what about Friday the 30th of November? For the final meeting of the year.
That's good.
Yeah? So Thursday 29 dinner. In fact, you know, once we get into that formula of using the night before, we probably would get a lot of mileage out of that dinner if we set it up right.
What's the date? 29th.
29th and 30th.
By the way, what is the place we are meeting at the Globe.
By the way, guys, have any of those dates fallen on the October bank holiday weekend? No.
Okay, just a question.
Huh?
It's a hamburg week.
Yeah, I understand. I still want to know.
There it is, there are your dates. And it seems to me that it would be foolish to set out the agenda for this meeting until we have this one done, and then we set the agenda at the end of each meeting.
Yeah, sure.
No way.
What's November, what you said?
Thursday, November 29th for dinner,
29:30.
and Friday the 30th for our last day.
And then the standard should be ready.
Yeah.
It's 19th of October.
Now, the other thing is, at the press conference on the 21st of May, well, you're invited anyway, anyone that can make it, there's a press conference on the 21st of May at 5:30 in Dusseldorf, followed by dinner for the Institute, the launch of the annual report, and the annual report will be presenting the white paper, so we'll be telling the European logistics media about our intention to do this with Comanche Oil. So. And Joost and Klaus Hellman are going to be at the dinner, so it's a very German, I think it'll be an interesting, Joseph Klaus sent us there. I'm sure Mr. Eckermann will be invited because he says he's going to have his own table and all that kind of stuff. So it's a big night because it's the European Shippers Council Forum thing. Anyway, I'll send you an invitation on a personal basis to it, but we'd love to see you there, 21st of May. Mr. Herr Stander will be answering the questions to DZV and all of this. Yeah. So there at the press conference, we have a press release saying we're going ahead with this. We'll have our date, we'll be a bit closer to it, and it'll be announced publicly then.
Okay, so is that, are we saying right now that that's it?
Yeah, we're saying that they are the 4 Hamburg committee meetings of 2007.
Okay, and is that, I mean, is that just?
Should be ready yet. Maybe we have a first one. I don't know. That depends on the.
So this is the idea. We don't know yet. I mean, if I go back to
The aim should be.
I manage the expectation that way.
that this possibly may be it.
That possibly we're hoping that's it. But you can tell we're Europeans, so we're very optimistic. So you should know, I wouldn't give you even money on it.
I will go the American way with you then. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Well, for me, it's a sales job, right? So
Yeah.
I need to do it optimistically.
Yes. Well, I think that's what we're going to do it in over. So there's really no point in getting into the subjects here, is there?
No.
Now, and the participants, this is the piece where you want to see some progress. You're going to be impressed if you come back and see DP World and APM.
But one point, in terms of, we had this idea that depending on the meeting, we might send different people. Personally, the way this sets up now, that doesn't work, right?
No.
You need continuity. You can't have somebody walk into the meeting who has none of this history behind it.
You can be at home. You can bring somebody, but at least one has to lead that.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody else could come along.
come
That's it.
along to whatever.
It's too much of a gap for somebody to kind of
We have
catch
to have a
up.
stable group and stable opinions at the end.
What's that?
We have to have a stable group of people.
Yeah.
A stable opinion.
So Frank Coe knows the story at PSA, so he wouldn't exactly be joining Code. Yeah? But somebody from DP World or APM, it would be a start again. Are you saying at this stage, don't widen the terminal operator group beyond there for now? Because it makes us go back to the start again. No other reason.
There's no worldwide terminal group
H.
for container terminals, at least. It's not non-existing. But if you talk to this group of people, they will definitely tell you whether they invited everybody or not.
At least they should have the chance to attend. They should know.
Well, you see, if I deep dive with them on one-to-one.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to bring them up to date.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
that first meeting is.
Correct. That's what I'll do. I'll do a deep dive with them on
You're
one-to-one.
missing one.
70% des Weltcontainermarktes.
Das ist
Oh,
Das
ja.
ist ganz einfach.
In Panama.
Well, they've already been talked to.
They didn't bite though.
They just came back and say,
To the Panama Council.
yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, well, yeah.
But just
If we're going to do that, maybe modern terminals.
yeah.
Do you understand his point?
No, but this is, I'm just saying that you talk to, I'm just telling you that
I know.
you talk to them. I mean, if they come back to you, what are you going to do then?
They haven't come back.
Well, think.
So the subject for the last meeting is already clear, because that will be the finalization of the standard.
But to answer your question, you know, we want to bring higher measurement.
Put hopes in
Yeah.
there.
Can I
Put some
ask a very
hopes.
simple question here?
We don't have them up there, right?
The LSPs that you're going to see in the room then,
Get them there.
So we should add them there, right?
Yeah.
China merchant, is that?
yeah, well again, you remember what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to keep people having some
But I
business.
mean, have no progress with it.
Okay, I'm not saying you do, you don't, I'm just trying to be dramatic about it.
And I think
It's a difficult point, because, you know, you've always talked about we're gonna get 5.
Correct.
And so I can understand there's issues with doing that, there's issues without not doing
But
that.
her goal actually, okay, Hermons is the guy who's saying, try and get everybody in and get complete buy-in, right around the world, right from the start. I've always said that the competitive thing is important in a way. So if you put all the competitors together, does it lose its edge?
Yeah.
It did for you just there.
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
The other thing I would say APM.
Yes.
In terms of, and this may be off the wall a little bit, they're serving Maersk. They're not out there competing the same way everybody else is.
No.
Right? They don't quite fit the same way.
They're now
No.
Not true?
And we are in the wrong meeting. I'm sorry, I'm sitting.
I may not understand the whole picture.
APM terminals, in their, whatever they are doing, to my understanding,
Yeah.
they're obviously serving the Maersk fleet. Right, it's very clear. But aren't we talking to the customer of the customers? In other words, the customer of the customers of APM terminals are, again, the logistic providers, the forwarders, the shippers.
Well, the only
So in other words, if this thing really flies,
the only
which
people
I don't know,
the only people
the
allowed-
interesting
Yeah.
people would be definitely the Kühne Nagels and the DHLs and the whatever. They would be the interested to say, okay, please give me this certificate,
Yeah.
and then the APM terminal would say yeah or nay to it. And therefore, I like to bind them into this discussion. But that is my opinion. Please.
You are of course right on that, but my point, Kieran just got it. If we have everybody in on the table now, what should, for me, be the reason to take part in it? What would be the contribution from
The exchange.
for my company at the end to be in this group, to work with this group, and not to be the first one at the end?
Correct.
Why should I take part?
But that's the
I just
exchange,
let
you know.
let them do it, and then I say yes, it's fine for me, or no.
The entire strategy has been built on exchange, right? I mean, in fairness, when I came to, I'll give you a very simple story. When I came to Hamburg and I went, okay, oh, and Mr. Eckermann knows Mr. Hellman, and then there's HHLA, and then I met Dr. Koch, and I went, actually I'm confused now because I can't ask the two of them. But obviously it's worked out that way, right? But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I think you're being quite altruistic about it. But if I go down the road, your biggest competitor on the West Coast is SSA Marine, right? And if I say you're going to go, well, actually, I'm looking for a competitive advantage, and I'm bringing you, what can they
And
bring?
you want me to talk about our best practices.
And I want you to talk about it. So yeah, so I think you've got to stick with that original piece.
This morning you started telling us that you expect that it's going to be maybe 5 or 10 audits next year if we succeed.
Yeah.
If we have now, I don't know, 150 or 200 terminals on the whiteboard, who are the first 5 or 10 operators you are going to audit?
First come, first serve.
And we still, I very straightforward said whether I'm going to be interested to be audited or not. It's a completely different question. The question comes at the end of
Yeah,
the
but
whole
you'll
thing.
be, if you decide to, you're queued up right in the right position.
Yeah, that's not my point.
No.
I'm not afraid about being number 1 or number 500. I'm not interested in that. I will find somebody who's going to give me the certificate. Don't worry about it. But the point for me is, we're small enough that we're going to get some power into it. But the question for me is that whatever standard is developed, and therefore I'm here, I said to you very clearly during lunch, is I don't want to have a nonsense standard. Therefore I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
So I do like to participate as long as you like me to participate
Yes.
in developing a standard which makes sense.
Yes.
And then, when everything's clear, then we can all, you, me, I don't know who's going, decide whether we are going to really ask you or whoever to certify me within the standard. But that's the motivation why I'm here. I'm not here to say, okay, GL, please come in. I want to be #1, to be certificate because I need some more clients.
But no, but I think at the end of the day, you would be described as the exception to the rule in that outlook. In that outlook. If I go to 10 managing directors across the world in your job right now, you'll be the only one who come. 9 of them will say, fine, I like to be altruistic and I love to be philosophical, and I'm not just suggesting that you're just being that, you're also being extremely practical and probably wiser than the rest of them. But the other guys are saying, no, yeah, I don't mind not, if you don't put anybody in the room in my geographical region, and that I don't have to show my hand to the guy who's down the road from me, and I can also have one-upmanship by being the first in the region to be certified, I'll come along on this merry dance with you. But he wants me to give him that. I mean, that's why we've been successful so far. So we're kind of giving people exclusive rights to a territory in return for
Unchanged comment from my side.
I know.
So, Kieran, one question then. These 5 or 10 or whatever, are you suggesting then that if they participate, I want to just have clear this because I have to go back and discuss this with a lot of people in my company. We have a lot of them. So, are you suggesting now these international core performance benchmarking standard or goal or whatever you want to call it, because eventually you're going to have to give a name to these stakeholders?
Hamburg committee now is what? Euphemistically.
It's a Hamburg committee.
Yeah.
We have discussed in the past, and this is an element that I have to, maybe we don't have an answer, but at least my other colleagues in the industry are here. This is going to evolve and change as we progress.
Agreed.
Somebody has to guard this standard, all right? It will evolve. What are the rights or no rights, or how do you picture, guys, the involvement of the first ones moving along on how the standard will evolve and develop? Because if we all want to come together as an exchange, as you say,
yes,
obviously we would like to have some, I guess all of us, a first refusal, of being part
Agreed.
of that element there in terms of having a permanent seat on that board or committee or whatever. That's something I don't know. I mean, I'm purely talking from our standpoint of view as a terminal operator, because then you have to have a process, some sort of process where we will have to say, yes, somebody else will be, no, because it goes back to the point of exclusivity that you were talking about, that if my competitor regional is there, then I don't have a say, I think, I know we don't have a stage of discussing that, but just keep it on the back of the mind. That's an issue that I think is...
Commercial lawyers say that best practice in the development of a quality indicator is you need 5 best-in-class operators.
Yeah.
I've said to Bernard, would you not say 3? No. 4? No. 2? No. 5. I need 5. I need to aggregate 5 best practices to get what I'm looking for. So as we built the 5, and just to repeat myself, we asked for Hutchison, we got Yantian, yeah. We asked for PSA, Antwerp stood up to the plate. We looked for West Coast, it came to MTC, right? And then our 4th and our 5th, this is how we were doing it, right? So we were only getting to 5. So the original blueprint is about having 5 terminals in there, not 5 groups, by the way. In other words, it was like, so Hutchison, Yantian, PSA, Antwerp, so Eurogate, Bremerhaven, but
One fully automated one.
you know what I'm saying? So that was the idea then.
So the idea was
Not that
5.
easy, gentlemen.
Not that easy.
Yeah, the idea was 5 because you need 5 to get the industry practice into the standard. But if you have more than 5, of course, it starts to get difficult.
Yeah.
With the whole discussion.
And it also takes from the original concept of giving people geographic exclusivity in some way. Now,
I think we have a good chance to really.
Well, I'd say you're blessed in the sense that
you're
you're 2 totally different products, because what we're aggregating from the automated bit is a different challenge.
I have not any problem with us 2 working in this group, and I do also not want to oppose against the extension of the group. But I think from a point of efficiency and from the original starting point, we changed that now. When you open for the big groups, it's a different working scheme then. And it will, I think, also influence the way how we behave in the field. It will be different. And we must be aware of that and do it knowing what we do.
Yeah. So maybe the argument I kind of made is not valid, right? Whether it's competitor or not competitor is not really something. I mean, at some point, anybody that wants in, but maybe it's the real reason is we can only have so many. Maybe that's the more valid, livable thing that at some point it evolves. I mean, because if this is successful, it's going to continue to evolve and change for years.
Yeah, true.
And we can't be sitting here saying, well, you know, the Hamburg committee limited at some point based on not about competitiveness, however you individually feel.
It's about enough. It's about enough is enough.
Have Hutchinson, PSA, MTC,
I would
Beckerman, Hala, that should be enough.
That should be enough. Now, I like. Now, you know, let me just be very, like, you know, because I have to work with these super groups every day. I go to Walmart and they go, you know what you're doing? Yeah. We have no objection to what you're doing. Do you want to join? We just did join. We have no objection to what you're doing. We're not joining, but we're not stopping you. And that's the very best you can do with these guys, right? Perfect. That's their endorsement. Maersk's endorsement. Maersk, it was in American Shipper last week. It was in Containerization International the week before. We've spoke it out. We've told and they haven't said no, right?
Yeah.
So I'm these super groups I'm very careful about. I think it actually is enough that they don't stop you, rather than trying to involve them. Because when you try to involve them, unfortunately they have to behave in a different way. Their DNA is different. It's kind of a royalty thing. You know, I don't mean it the wrong way. They just happen to be the super groups.
So, but your concern is that they may stop it afterwards. So they may say,
it's very simple. I think I understand your approach. Would you like to say, okay, why don't pick one and say, okay, why don't you start? It's very interesting. But we are talking now to world industry.
Yeah.
And this world industry is talking to each other. Right? And now if you're just ignoring number one, number two, number three in this industry.
You don't ignore them.
It's
HIT is on the table, PSA
difficult.
on the table.
I mean, I understand, but with all fairness, I mean, allow me to say that the complete group HIT should be, if it's Yang Tian representing the whole group, no problem. For me, perfect.
That is so far. That's the.
But you see what I'm aiming to. The same would go PSA. PSA may have the understanding that they are represented by Mr. Cole in Antwerp.
Maybe.
They may.
Maybe.
Mr. Cole will tell you whether they will be represented by them or not. And the same goes with Mr. Pfeiffer. If you call APM terminals and get your case to Mr. Pfeiffer and he says, yeah, and it's participating Mr. ABC from whatever, he has the blessing, as you said, the blessing of himself, that things are going to go forward this way, that they are listening.
Yes.
But if you are developing a standard, you're participating and saying, okay, that's the standard, now all people which are going to carry the Walmart containers through this terminal, please qualify. Versus. Very interesting what you're talking about, but I mean, this KPI, this KPI, this KPI, we do this different because of. And then Walmart gets 5 pages, and then we can scrap your ones.
so is there something else we need to consider? Is there some other participation that's wide open to anybody, but it's not actually these meetings? In other words, we're going to have feedback coming out of every meeting. That anybody who wants to participate, any number of terminals, every terminal in the world, if you want to sign up as part of this, we'll send you information, and we'll take your feedback. Unfortunately, this committee is set. But it's wide open to feedback to anybody. Because it is a world standard.
It's consultative.
To separate between the working group and the communication.
But if anybody can be part of the process.
I think it would really not harm if you would invite APM and Dubai World, because they would maximum send one guy.
They're not going to 100 people here.
One guy each. So this means with one guy each DP and APM, we would have them in, and we could say, well, we have 70% of all candidates. So I think this is an argument. It wouldn't harm, I think, the productivity because only 2 guys more.
I understand that. At the end of the day, we begin to diminish the return on investment by the stakeholders who've already come in early on the basis that they were getting some kind of exclusivity. So you do impinge on that, and you also impinge on the ability of people to be candid where they're up against a real competitor about best practice. So that does get impinged. This probably is the best strategy that I think, which is we've come together, right, through the sweat of our brow and a lot of networking and called a committee together, right? But even now we realise, right, that we are not democratic in the sense that we can't speak for all. However, this is as much as we can fit into a working group against best practice as set out by Germain Lloyd in developing a standard. However, we still want to aggregate other ideas, etc. Would you accept the role of observer, right, and participate in one of our days and give them that status? Or is that just, you may as well do nothing as do that?
It would be worse than not invited.
It would be worse than not invited.
Remember, these guys are teams. So
you know, I like Harry's strategy, right? Because I like it, right? Because it's completely honest and it forces the participants to think about it from an industry-wide perspective. And it divorces from that sense of what's in it for me, right? But unfortunately, that's not sometimes how it works. But then the higher you go up in an organisation, it actually does. When you get closer to the board, you actually find that people get a lot more, they're in co-opetition rather than in competition. They're cooperating with the people they're competing with because co-opetition is good, yeah? So you get, but as you come down the ranks at the business development levels and the IT levels and these, people are saying, look, just keep it to yourself. You know, don't go tell, you know, so I suppose the higher you go, the broader the consensus. So it's a question of, you know. No?
He would not come.
Who is that?
So let's invite Mr. Möller.
Okay.
He's not going to come.
Okay, so I think there's something in both of them. I think that's my job actually, this piece. Yeah, that's what we kind of hope we do best. Diplomacy and consensus, right? I think we'll be able to unlock a formula for it, and I think it'll be a compromise, but it won't be so much of a compromise that it'll take from this. So I'm quite.
In other words, you're the one giving out the invitations.
Correct. Well, now, frankly, at the end of the day, if we were all signatories to the next invitation, they would just jump. You know, that's another point I would say to you, right? So in other words, we came to Germain Lloyd with Mr. Hellman's endorsement, and that's how I got into the office. I mean, you know, and so everybody is connecting everybody, right? So if we were to say, look, we've met, this is who we are, and we would like to invite you to the next stage, well, then I think we have a great chance. If we go with your plan, sir, right? To go with your plan, to get Mr. Pfeiffer to say yes, yeah? The signatories to that invitation would almost need to be as many as we could possibly have.
It is a matter of wording. I'm not putting my signature under an invitation.
It's a matter of wording.
It's if Germanische Lloyd known to those people.
Yes.
I mean, Germanische Lloyd is not nobody.
Agreed.
They are known.
Agreed.
So they suppose would invite.
Yes.
With whatever documentation and say during last meeting
with
following groups participated. I have no problems with that.
Fine.
You see what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So they know, oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
HIT participated, HHRI participated, and others. I just,
MTC,
yeah, I'm polite.
Yes, sir.
A lot of others participated, finito. But the invitation still should come from the one who wants to have me.
Gotcha. That's a better way of doing it. Okay, so the agreement is we will be able to leverage this meeting to build further consensus, but we won't. We haven't decided about the formula for the APM to the DP world. I'd like to back to having thought it through on my flight, yes? But I'll come back to something.
Have you thought about the idea that the carriers might think that they might be certified too? Because if you now focus on the yeah, but not according to German like that.
It's easy to talk actually.
Like
a conversation will cover it. So how about, would you take a call at the weekend?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, fine. So I'll get you your home number. Okay, doctor.
No problem.
I just wanted to just...
Okay, keep it in touch.
Do you work on the closer? What
I worked on the glossary and I put together the matrix. But it's going to be more, because we haven't discussed that yet. There will be more than what we need.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? And I only want people to say, keep this out, that's bring up the question, where do we go?
It does one less work, but I have no idea how to just consider that. Let's do it in the fashion.
We are on the continent.
Good, Washington, but I don't know how.
Between 1 and 2, the question that has not been discussed, but maybe should be discussed is, do we ask the third operators
Easy to do.
to fill in bandwidth in the main?
Oh, you have a camera?
Make it as intelligent as
Yeah,
possible.
of course.
And get as much back as you
Yeah,
can.
yeah. How was your wife? Okay.
You're all well?
Yeah.
This is not
We're
worse.
getting into a new year.
Yeah, we're getting over the bad period.
Yeah.
And they're actually, the kids are skiing this week.
Wonderful. And they're good?
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Good to hear that.
I'll just follow your strategy.
Okay, very kind. Okay.
Der verabschiedet sich gerade.
Okay, da verabschiedet sich nur.
That's clear.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I will. Stay also, right? Yes.
You're going to be a schedule more than another 40 minutes.
Someone was just asking for the minutes, just for your record, so you can say something about that.
You guys will share the rest of our main schedule and so on, right?
But I think it's important. One point that I wanted to make
to really see the dots
is there is about
Printed.
yeah. Oh yeah. So can we wipe that? I might be able to demonstrate better. Well, it's nothing to do with the fact that we wipe it, it goes. You know?
That's right.
Aber das bleibt auch.